Professional Gorey Class 2021. This is case study 6 for Robert. Robert had a National Road Haulage Operator's License. What does that mean? An operator's license?
He owned the truck.
He owned the trucks and operate within Ireland. So he drives domestic. He usually carried ceramics, fine glassware, collectibles, but he also had another truck that he used to carry pigs for local neighbours. Do you need an operator's license to carry pigs to market?
No.
No,
Yes,
you
for other
don't,
people.
because we're an agricultural country, and you don't need tachograph and milk. You don't need an operator's license to bring animals to market. Robert was paid cash for carrying his customers' goods. Okay, if I'm bringing my pigs to market, do I need a tachograph?
No.
No. Okay. On today's trip, Robert would be carrying fragile goods. While the packages were being loaded onto pallets and into the truck, Robert checked the quantity, the overall condition of the goods and the packaging. The fragile goods were packed in appropriate containers labelled fragile, handle with care. This was a light load and Robert was not sure how to secure it. How would you secure it? Fragile boxes.
Tightly packed together.
Packed together what?
Against the bulkhead of the lorry.
Yes, but would you not put them on a pallet or something?
Sure, it already says that they're on pallets.
Okay, and how would you secure them on the pallets?
Wrap them, huh?
Yeah, with shrink wrap, no?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I would do it. But these different things need to be packed in different ways, okay? So if that was light, if they're already on pallets and they're light and handled with care, I wouldn't be putting hard ropes over them. You wouldn't be using chains, would you?
No.
You'd use a bit of shrink wrap. Where if it was an excavator, you'd use chains. If it was pallets, you might use straps. Ropes, not just so much. If it was loose and light stuff, you might use a net. And if you had to keep it dry, you might use a tarpaulin. Yeah? But you'd be doing a restraint course at some stage, I guess, anyway. The sender and Robert completed a consignment note and the sender kept a correct copy. The customer had chosen Robert to carry the goods because he offered company risk contracts. That means the stuff's insured while it's in transit. He also had confidence in road freight and did not want the fragile goods sitting on the railway tracks for a long time. Someone's trying to promote road freight over rail freight. Once he had secured the load, Robert did his routine walk around check and cockpit drill. What's the RSA recommended time?
15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes. And it's all here, as you can see. Documentation, parking brake, side markings, map holder, warning system, gear select, interior mirrors. Again, he's missed loads. He's missed a chair. He's missed a demister. He's missed the first aid box. He's missed the extinguisher. It goes on and on. If they ask you a question, you can literally go back here and just check, okay? The scenario will be on the screen the whole time. Okay, he set off at 9:15 p.m. in the evening. After driving for 4 hours, Robert decided to pull into a service area. He parked in the truck parking area and switched off the engine and rested for 45 minutes. Is that okay?
Yep.
So how long is he good to drive for now?
4.5 hours.
Before driving on, Robert wanted to make sure the containers were still intact from the journey so far. As he checked the load, he noticed that there were broken strands on some of the ropes. What should he do?
Replace
Exactly,
them.
throw them out. You can't save a rope or a strap. If there's broken strands, that means the whole rope has been stressed to such a point that part of it is become defective. It's not just a little bit that's broken that's been strained, it's the whole rope or the whole strap. His delivery was 6 to 8 a.m. He left at 9. 45 minutes break would take to 10. He drove for 4 hours. That takes you to 2 in the morning. So he's got 4 hours to get there, hasn't he? So he had no time to spare. His destination was not much further. Bob decided to continue using the same ropes and discard them after unloading the goods. He arrived at his destination at 8. So that took him 6 hours, yeah?
Yeah. So he's over his
taco. Not
taco.
much further, but it was 6 hours away. Is that okay, yeah?
No.
No, because you're only allowed to drive 4.5 hours, aren't you?
Yeah.
When he arrived, Robert arrived at the Glimmer, Sparkle and Shine shop. He opened the trailer to check the load and ropes before the customer came out to inspect the goods. He felt guilty about not using new ropes. Well, that's okay then. Fortunately, everything looked as it did when it was loaded the day before. The customer inspected all of the boxes and took delivery of the goods. Robert then discarded the frayed ropes in preparation for his return journey. Robert checked the truck's tyres, battery, windscreen, wipes, mirrors, brakes, hoses. Again, this is not an appropriate walk around, is it?
No.
It's not good enough. He planned his route to avoid traffic congestion. Now, route planning, you know yourself, you need to plan your route, your timings, your brakes, the ferries, the tolls, the weather, congestion charges, bridges, tunnels, large events, your fuel, etc., etc., etc. So any of those questions can come up. After driving for 15 minutes, he noticed an arch bridge ahead. The headroom under the bridge was 3.9 meters, which is 13 feet, and his truck was 3 meters, which is 10 feet. So is he okay?
Yeah, if he goes in the middle.
Yeah, always go in the middle of an arch bridge. You sit back, you wait for traffic to clear, and when it's safe, you go right through the middle. Where is the height of your truck?
The cab.
Inside the
In the
cab.
cab. It is always in the cab. It is a legal requirement to be right in the cab where you can see it. All bridges are signed. The height of all bridges should be signed. It is a criminal offence to hit a bridge or hit a bridge while attempting to see if you can get through it. So if you say, oh, just trying to see if I can get through it, that is also a criminal offence. 5,003 penalty points, is it?
Yeah.
If you do report it, up to 5,000. And how much if you don't report it and someone else reports it?
50,000 and 6 months in prison.
50,000 would be very, very upsetting to me. But 6 months in prison, looking as beautiful as I do, passed around like a pack of cigarettes. No, thank you. 3 meters, 10 feet high, so he knew it would fit within the bridge restrictions. As Robert drove under the bridge, he glanced down to change the radio station. As a result, lightly scraped the left side of the bridge, as we said. If you can't remember Leon's rule of fives. It's always 500, 5,000, 50,000. Health and Safety Act of 2005. Your cars last 5 years, so always go for the 5. Do report it up to 5,000. Don't report it 50,000. He did not think there was any damage to the trailer on the bridge, as there were no witnesses. He did not stop or report the incident to the Garda. Who'd you ring?
The number on the bridge. Number on the bridge.
The number on the bridge is correct. You are not a trained engineer. You don't know what damage you've done to that bridge. You don't know if you've altered the integrity of the bridge. Like you might have just weakened it slightly, which over the course of 6 months might break down into a serious fault. Okay? Just because you haven't destroyed the bridge there and then. As he drove, Robert daydreamed about how many bridge strikes are there in Ireland in a year?
Too many.
About 250 to 350 in a year. How many in the UK?
More.
It's a much bigger place, yeah. About 1,800 a year. This is, guys, this is with the height of your vehicle in your truck, and every bridge is signed, and they still manage 1,800 strikes a year between buses and trucks. I don't know if that includes cars. I can't imagine it does. No, it would be buses and trucks. As he drove, Robert daydreamed about how fortunate he was to be driving road-free. What is daydreaming a sign of?
Tiredness.
Tiredness, exactly. And not handling rail freight. Some of his friends who handled rail freight had lost their jobs. Although Robert was regularly away from home for days at a time, he was happy to be a truck driver. Most people who watch these videos like and subscribe. I'd like to say thank you.